Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, most beneficent, most merciful. Thank you for joining in. This is Faraz Khan from Faraz Khan Art Studio. You could find out more information about this class on the website farazkhanartstudio.com. You Google search and you will find more information. I just wanted to give you a quick summary of what we discussed today. I was not able to record, let's see, the lessons that we were talking about today, but I do want to give you a quick summary. Unfortunately, the recording was lost, but here's an information. We are sharing PDFs. We're going to be utilizing the letters that we're going to be copying. This would be the first step in doing calligraphy. Today, we're just simply discussing what are tools and techniques and information about calligraphy as opposed to practicing, because many people do not have the pens yet. So if you could order your pens, 3.0 millimeter Arabic calligraphy pens, and I will talk about calligraphy pens in a second. Those are the ones that we need. This one shows you, and let me annotate, spotlight. This calligraphy forms, it shows you how to do different types of alif, how when its initial form it's written. This is Hamzatul Alif, or Hamzatul Waqf, actually. Mim Alif, the medial form, and then the final form, which could be seen in the Lam or here, A'mar, in Arabic calligraphy. This is a traditional calligraphy note on how to do Arabic calligraphy. This is Nasr style, which is used for Quranic writing. And here we see the measurement style with dots, how we're able to measure the length of letters by utilizing dots and forms. So this is an important understanding. Again, my background is more in non-traditional type of work, Arabic calligraphy. I do not use the traditional styles, which are called Aqlam as-Sitta, the 6 pens or 6 styles. These calligraphy styles are such as Kufic, Divani, Riqa, Nasq. Nasq is what you're looking at here. And Riqa, Divani, Nasq, Nastaliq, Tuluth. All these are called the traditional styles, and most of the later modern styles have actually evolved from these earlier styles of calligraphy, or you could look at them or understand them as fonts. So these, earlier fonts gave birth to many other styles, such as, even latter day Divani, and Nastaliq is actually a combination of Nasq and Ta'liq, 2 different scripts coming together. Anyhow, this is the letter. Again, we talked about how dots can be utilized to measure the length of each letter or width of each letter. And that's how we know what is correct form and what is incorrect. If you have, let's measure the dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the middle of the ba, it's slightly tilted. If you have 8 dots, if you are able to put 8 dots in the middle of the letter ba, it's an incorrect form in Nasq. So this is something I wanted to share with you just as a starting point, inshallah. And do understand that there are many different forms and calligraphy styles. Here's an example of Bismillah written in 6 forms. Again, we talked about Nasq. This is Solus. I could go a little deeper into it. Tawqi, which is very close to Muhaqqaq and Rihani script, I believe, or Solus as well. They're very similar. Rihani you see on top, and Riqa at the bottom. Right there, this is Riqa. So these are some of the scripts, and we won't be learning all of these scripts, obviously. We don't have enough time for that. Again, this is the dot base learning measuring style. This is Solus. How many dots does it have for an alif to be properly understood as alif? And within each style of calligraphy, you have many different forms, right? So for example, this is Kufic, and as you could see, you have Kufic, basically earlier Kufic, which gave birth to many other forms of Kufic, the foliage Kufic, the knotted Kufic, the Eastern Kufic. These are all different forms of Kufic or styles of Kufic that we have. So here's Kufic. Let me share with you. I want to share with you the pens that we talked about. So this is the traditional calligraphy pen. I'm holding it this way. And you could see how it has a nib and it's chiseled, it's cut in a form, and you dip it into the ink and you're able to work with it. We're not going to be using this ink, and this is black ink, also called Black Magic. So that's available Michael's, other art stores, arts and craft stores. We're not going to be using these traditional calligraphy pens. If you've ordered your pens, and they would look something like this. This is really easy to use, easy to make form calligraphy pens that you could benefit from. You don't need ink on the, they come with the ink in there, so you'll be able to utilize these pens. So I wanted to make sure I share that with you. I also shared with the people today about metal pens. So this has a calligraphy metal pen that's very, this is a snap-in pen that you can just snap it in, and it holds a little bit of ink. I call them crocodile pen at the top, and you're able to get really sharp calligraphy with this pen too. So the understanding is, and what I wanted to share with you, some of my artwork, some things that you see behind like this. How do you do this type of calligraphy? So for that, I use paint markers, and they're really good at doing bigger calligraphy work because the nib on these is, I'm going to show these, it's much bigger. Okay. So these are some of the calligraphy pens. I wanted to share with you one last thing. Let's see. I want to show you one last thing, and that is my website to share with you. Let's see, this one. No, that's not it. That's not it. I want to move this away. So it's farazfanartstudio.com, and what you'll see is the type of work I do, and that's very important because we're not talking about traditional calligraphy. I mean, this is the beginning point to traditional calligraphy, but I've taken it to work on what I have, what I produce, which borderlines, art expressions which are modern, not just black and white ink. So this is some of the work. These are some of the programs I've worked with the universities and hospitals, just to give you a background, and museums. And here you have more vibrant work that I share with you. This is my goal. This is my understanding. This is where my journey is taking me. I wish you well on your journey to calligraphy and art. And I hope you could join me again for class or some information sharing, knowledge, anything we could do together to keep moving, inshallah, in the right direction. Thank you for joining. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.